Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you'd like to see, remember to hit that like button. You want to see more? Hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2019 Stage Racer Episode 28. We've moved up to 51st in the overall, but we are still well down the order after that initial Stage 1 team time trial fiasco. But now on Stage 4, and it's a punchy one for this, and we'll go straight to the end and we'll see what we can do. It is actually a lengthy climb there. As you can see, the sprint point is at 171. The top is at 179. It's 8 kilometers. It's not that long with the finish at 186. All descent on that part. So 8 kilometer climb, not terribly steep. It'll suit a rider like myself fairly well, but it's going to definitely take some pace, so it's not going to be an 85 to get away on this one. We'll see. Alaphilippe, Van der Poel, Van Aert, they're all here. That puts us pretty far out of the realm of possibility to really do much. We've got that victory under our belt, so we'll see what else we can do in this race. It is the Tour de Suisse. On a gentle upslope, but it's undulating as we weave back and forth a little bit through this sort of valley that goes down into the lower valley.
It looks like the pack has bitten the dust collectively, but the riders would seem to be okay to carry on.
It's doing damage. It's definitely doing damage. And the peloton is seeing lots of mini splits and then trying to pull it back together. So right now there's still a lot of effort to close the gaps. But I very much could see this field ultimately splitting here, but possibly before the climb even. And a lot of damage being done to the field. The last breakaway rider is just about to be reeled in. That's Smith. Just right there, just ahead, just 15 seconds. And all since the intermediate sprint here, just over this stretch, we've gone from the entire team being full strength to some serious fatigue now. And the rest of the team got water over a temporary split, except for Morea, who was protecting me and myself, which you can see just how far anyone and everyone is right now. Gonçalves trying to come all the way from the back to offer protection. Morea's done. Maloselli's done. Gonçalves is just about done, so I'm pretty much on my own now for that climb coming up. And with this fatigue setting in, I will have zero chance to make any sort of attack on the upcoming climb, and actually hope that attacks from the likes of Alaphilippe or something, Mathieu Van der Poel, aren't going to be too strong, as Damien Howson already attacked it at the front. Now Bob Jungels trying to come. There is Van der Poel already right at the front. Let's go ahead and bring it on down as we approach this sprint point. There are 3 seconds to be had here, but with my fatigue, I'm not sure I want it. I suppose I could give the tiniest little uptick here. Look, here comes 3 riders attacking. That's Bennett, Van der Poel, and Trentin. All interested in those points and time bonuses. And look at that. We are so tired here. Before we even start the actual climb of the day, 7K to go. Already 4.5%. That's not much of a climb. But with the fatigue, what it is, there we go, gel kicking in. I'm worried about that fatigue taking me out. Bob Jungels is pulling pretty hard at the front. I'm nervous with Van der Poel being up here already that he's going to have an easy time. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I'm fading. We still have 2.5K to go. 75 riders here. Just keep fading. That's okay. Just don't run out of energy. Fade. Don't. Oh, we're down to 33 in the group. There's the top, though. There is the top. Come on, come on. Yes. Okay. Okay, I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be okay. Now, I'm not going to be able to contest stage victory here really at all, but I do, by being at the front, have just enough energy here that I did not get dropped over the top, and we're coming up on the finish line, 900 meters. Now we sprint it out, and I'll have a decent top 10 here, but Vanderpool takes the win, Mohoric second, JS third, Kwiatkowski, and I take 8th. And there you go, small group of 30. That's going to, again, give a little bit of a bonus, a little bit of time, scoop me up the order a little bit further. Not big gaps here, though. Not big. Large group there, came in just 2 minutes down. But that worked out. That was scary close with that low resistance. Just that little uptick at a high rate of speed without teammate support. And I went down to very, very low energy going into the actual climb. So, really fortunate there. Really fortunate to be able to stay in the group and get a top 10. So 36 seconds is the gap, but then just a handful of riders there, about 10, and then we go to a minute 46 to that next group. Now remember, I was almost 3 minutes down, so as we move up the order, we're still well behind. 41st. So we've gone from 130th, slowly moved our way into the top 60. Now we're into the top 50. 54 kilometers to go. And this is where things get pretty serious. We've got an alls category climb coming up here in just a moment. And then it's followed up immediately by a mountaintop finish. Now, the secondary climb is not as bad. This alls category coming up here in just a moment is intense. It's going to destroy the field. And unless the pace is moderate, I'll be in trouble as well. I might be a good climber, but with low resistance, which actually today, +1 race day condition, it's +4 on the resistance. A 73 is tolerable. My problem is I'm not going to have much team support for this. So Aaron Burrow, 71 in the mountains, only 69 today. Rodriguez needs to get up here. Ooh, there you go. There's the new thing. I'm going to have him gently come to the front, and I'm going to try to set my team up. I'm going to give Rodriguez some protection, and I'm going to tell Gonçalves to sit up, and he's going to protect Rodriguez when Rodriguez gets here into position. The other guys, they're done. But at least with Gonçalves, a little harder. You don't have much time here. Come on up. Come on up. So we'll keep Aaron Burrow protecting me. And then Gonçalves is going to protect Rodriguez. And then when the time comes, Rodriguez will take over and protect me. Almost there. Stop going backwards. Can't tell me the pace just suddenly picked up that much, did it? That would be pretty dangerous if that's the case. Why is he still... This is my problem with Pro Cyclist mode, is even when you have control of riders, they don't do what they're supposed to do. And now we're already climbing, and he's still not quite in position, and now he's going to waste some energy. But what I can do immediately is I can get Gonçalves, at least protect him as he tries to come forward. The breakaway is huge, 16 riders. They had a 4.5 minute lead. It's down to 2 now, and it should crumble pretty quickly, but at the moment they're still cooperating, and that's giving them a chance to stay ahead a bit longer. You can see we're already starting to get them in our sights. Gonçalves is at the end. Rodriguez is finally getting up into position, and Aaron Burrow is hanging on for now. Rodriguez, I need you to come up a little bit further. Because when the time comes... Okay, let's go ahead and use one of these on Aaron Burrow. Or do I only have one? One per rider? It's just occasional. Okay, so we're down to 83. Peloton just now, or the breakaway just now starting to split. Only one rider off the back, surprisingly. And the gap is actually bigger than it was. They have more than 2 minutes now. So not quite sure how that group has managed to stay away the way they have. Rodriguez already fading. Go ahead and set him to auto. Aaron Burrow is fading. I am alone now. Still looking good though as we approach the top of this first climb, and I will definitely recover on the descent. So as this group thins out a little bit, we're on the false flat. We're going to go uphill here in a moment. Down to 40 riders. Both Aaron Burrow and Rodriguez are now gone. There's a lot of points at the top of this climb. 20. Now that breakaway is still out there. They're going to pick up all the points. Yep, there's the top. $33 riders here in the peloton, and I need water for myself before this final climb. It's still 30k to go. 28, 33. Come on, get some water. Get some water. There's the water. Now get back up to the front. $21k to go, and we're about to go uphill again. We just hit the bottom. So quick sit rep. We've got 3, 6, 8 plus whatever's in the front group still off the front. It's still 2 minutes. So we did not catch up to them at all over that climb. They opened up a little bit bigger gap, and then we pulled it back just a little bit. Their group did not completely shatter, and yet the peloton pretty much did. Very surprising that the breakaway held as firm as it did. So we start going uphill, and instantly I start to see an impact on my resistance. But here's the steepest part of the climb here in just a moment, where they are right now. That's the steepest section of the climb. Take it easy through here. Good, no damage done. Not enough pace to really hurt us. Meaning I, at this point, could still make it to the end, potentially anyway, with the main group without getting dropped. So that's a good sign. Again, the resistance could certainly be a couple points higher than it is. The mountain ability's there, and we've got an 82 today. So we're looking fantastic in that department. We can pull plenty of pace. It's just we can't pull it for terribly long. Amador pulling now with Valverde and Quintana. There's Mollema. Alright, now we're down to 5 riders left off the front. They're down to a minute, so now we're pulling them back quickly. So they might have been able to hold the time over the top of the first one, but this second climb, especially with the smaller group now, they're shattering quite quickly. Peloton itself is still shrinking. We're down to 22 riders. We did pick up some of those breakaway riders as well. I don't know if any of them are here, but this is definitely all the top competitors, and we're down to 19. This will move me up the standings a lot. 18, chasing 4. 9k to go. A little bit tired here, a little bit tired. I think it's just about time. Yes, let's use the gel now. I'm not trying to contest for a victory. I'm trying to make sure I don't get dropped. That is my objective on this stage. I am not confident that I am strong enough yet to really take these guys on, attack these guys, anything like that. I need quite a few more resistance points before that's going to be a thing. There we go. Gel kicks in and lasted for 2 seconds. What? It blinked twice is all I saw. It blinked twice and then stopped. We have 14 in the peloton. I'm hanging on, but it's 4K. Here comes an attack from Garrett Thomas. I will let him go. He's not who I'm riding against, remember, I'm like 41st overall. I'm trying to ride myself into maybe the top 10 or so. And now we are alone. Let's go ahead and do something with this in 3K to go. And the worst of the climbing is just about done. Let's give ourselves a comfortable ride here with the leftovers of the breakaway. Vincenzo Nibali with me. I don't know if that's Sergio or Sebastian Henao, the cousins. I think it's Sergio. Okay, 1K to go.
Well, nobody can dispute that win.
Geraint Thomas goes off to take the win. And now let's speed past these guys with that little bit of energy we've got. Kwiatkowski takes second. This is for 5th. I'm heading in for 5th. Behind Galopan and Caruso, leftovers from the break. They were at the front of the breakaway. I take 5th overall. Tish Benoot, it was Sergio Henao in 7th for United Arab Emirates team. Vincenzo Nibali takes 8th. Soler takes 9th. Half of those guys were all in the breakaway. Strong riders in the break, by the way. Quintana takes 10th. Masnada from the breakaway takes 11th. Amador, Malama. That was a solid result. Top 5 here on a difficult stage. And you can see the energy. We managed it right down to that last moment. Remco Evenepoel, my career mode team leader, in 17th on this stage. Let's try the other way. Can we see any better? There we go. Ooh, look at that motorcycle. Doing the electric slide. That's a fantastic result that we were able to pull off there. I don't think that could have gone much better than it did. About 4 positions better was all that was possible, but realistically, 5th was fantastic. And that's going to move us up the standings a lot because there's going to be large time gaps today. Of course, we're going to lose a little bit of time, but Thomas moves into the leader's jersey. Ooh, I get same time as this whole group. Bit of a strange one, that, but okay. We lose a minute to Thomas and Kwiatkowski. And then, look at that. There's a minute gap there. That's almost 2 minutes down. That's going to start moving me up. Let's see. Top 10 yet? Not sure. Maybe top 15. Ooh, just cracking the top 10 by 1 second. Over full sun. Nice. Okay, well, there you go. Leader outsider up into the top 10. Look at those time gaps. I mean, we were in 41st at 248, 249, something like that. Look at those gaps now. Clear separation at the top, but beyond that, these gaps aren't that big. Though I am a minute behind anyone in front of me, so not going to get too excited yet. But hey, we're into the top 10 at a World Tour race with some serious climbing as a second-year rider. I'll take it. I'll take it. Let's continue on. Oh, and I've got a jersey. I've got a jersey. I wonder if it's the under 25s. I did not look closely. There it is, yeah. Under 25s, so we've taken over the young rider jersey. Nice. That's going to work out well for us. By the way, team said I should finish top 5, but you've already got where I am. This Antwerp team has some insane requirements, always above profile. I was picked inside the top 10, but only just. Race day condition, certainly a boost, but that form, I think, is what made me just good enough to be top 10 classification. I can hang with those guys, but it's just that resistance that can only do so much, lasts so long. Stage 6, you know what, let's just stay. Let's stay. We've got an intense stage with back-to-back ALS category and then a little climb at the finish. That is a long gap in between, though. That is 65 kilometers. What I see is small group small group finish, because these two climbs will leave a lot of riders behind and massive gaps to them. But I don't think we'll see anyone try to go solo on this climb. So I see it getting down to 30 or less riders. But I could see whatever group that is opening up a big enough gap early on. Again, there you go. They've got me just inside the top 10 favorites. I just don't know. It's going to be a punchy little finish. And there's definitely going to be fatigue in that group by the time you get down there. Just because that long stretch over the flat, if the group's small enough, it'll do damage. First climb, it's hard to say how much damage. I mean, that's 37 kilometers in, and that's probably 15, 16K long.
Show what they're made of. For the others, it's going to be a day of hard labor in order to reach the finishing line.
Whew. Yeah, see, there you go. Now top 3 on the stage. Really? No, let's not do a select all on this one. Just make sure I'm at the front. There we go. Now, before, when I was 41st, that previous stage, I thought for a moment there that I should get into the break and try to go from there for that previous stage that we just did. Large breakaway, 16 riders, plenty of quality riders in there that ended up near the front of the standings. I could have been a part of that. I could have been in the middle of that and then ended up right around the same place I was. But it would have hurt the resistance a lot, and that was the part that I was worried about. I just don't have the resistance for a move like that. I was hoping for the gap and then just trying to use my pace. This time we've got 13. We've got 2 teammates up there, Aaron Burrow and Rodriguez today. So my 2 strongest climbers are in the break and up the road. And knowing how this game is, they will have nothing in terms of energy when they reach me, meaning they will not be able to provide any support. In real life, teams always do it to where if you have a team leader a minute behind you because you were in the break and you've been dropped, you kind of sit up, you ride easy, you recover a little energy to the point that you can have a little bit of energy when they do catch up to you, and that way you can provide protection for a short while, lead them out for a short while, do whatever it is. But that is not how this game works, and I'd love to see that be a fix in PCM 20 or beyond, just sometime here down the road. You got to start having the rider in the break that's working to support the leader behind them. You see that on big climbing stages all the time. Gets the team pressure off so they don't have to work. And then the rider up there doesn't have to work because, they've got the race leader behind them, or sometimes they do, depending on if it's a race leader or not. But anyway. So, water never did get delivered to me. Molselli never made it forward and got dropped by the group. Not a lot of riders off the back. We've got 114 in the peloton here. And the gaps behind aren't massive, but those guys are definitely not coming back. They will almost certainly form up a gruppetto. Here we go. Gonçalves recovered. Irisari recovered. Morea is getting there. But Aaron Burrow, looks like he's the one. Oh, Aaron Burrow got dropped. And he's 2 minutes down from the break. He's the one. He's E2 all by himself. 12 riders left in the front. Rodriguez is fresh and not working. Jay Hindley in the breakaway again today. At the moment, he's a minute and a half clear of myself in the standings with the 4.5 minute gap between us and them. So it puts him 3 minutes down overall. Alright, so climb number 1 done with very little damage. We've got 109 riders. This time, though, I think the pace is going to be a bit higher as we're chasing the breakaway. And that's going to thin the field a lot more this time. At least 50% of this peloton will likely be gone. Pace is starting to pick up. First hint of splints coming. Still 4 minutes. That's a pretty hefty gap. And I'm not sure we're going to bring those 12 guys back. Time's starting to come down, though. Half minute pulled back. Yeah, maybe we will. Maybe we'll catch them before the top of the climb. 93 riders now. Here comes the thinning process. Speaking of thinning, it's my team that's been thinned out. 3 more riders off the back. Gonsalves is just getting up here, and he's done. I am all alone. I've got Rodriguez ahead, but he is about done. And he's been dropped. In fact, he's now the next rider up the road, so you can just see how weak my team is. My 2 strongest climbers were the first 2 guys dropped by the breakaway. I still have no water. I'm going to have to grab it myself here. Once we do get over the top, though, that'll be a much easier thing to do, especially as we continue to thin out. 39 riders now. 2.3k. Here's Rodriguez, but again, no energy. That's what I was just talking about, because there he goes. Wrong direction. Could not stick around for even 500 meters or 1k, you know, whatever it is, like how that works in real life. Climber points already assigned, so nothing left to go for there. As we go over the top, we've got 31. Get some water for myself here on the early part of the descent, and then we will recover. Okay, and there is the water, and we cruise back to the front. The recovery also just about done. We'll have more descent here in just a little bit to finish that off. And we are 3 minutes and 40 seconds down from the front end of the break. Of course, it's a much smaller group now than it was. There's still too many in front of me to be totally certain what's up there. There's 4 in between us and the front group. Once we pull back these 2 guys, then we'll be able to have a glance at that. That should happen in just a moment here on the flat. And there you go. 8 riders on the front. Ciccone, Michael Woods, Kelderman. That's a strong group. Jay Hindley, Genius, Polank, DeMarchi, and Mohorit. All 8 riders are very, very capable guys. And they dropped Tim Wellens. Yeah, Wellens dropped from that group. That is a powerful, powerful breakaway. And we've got 3 minutes to try to catch them. 3 minute gap to catch. That is going to be a real challenge. And that's not much of a climb at the end. It's a little bit punchy. You got a couple small uphill sections between here and the finish, but I don't see things changing much between now and the end other than fatigue setting in. So we'll watch that gap. We'll watch from the overhead. 2.5 minutes. Chase is on. Let's speed it up. Sprint point coming up. Wellens just about brought in. 50 seconds is the gap, and we're not really closing these guys down. It's still 2:50. Now it's 3. I think we've just conceded the stage. Yes, we have. It's 3.5 minutes now. That group is going to take the stage, and those are all really good riders. I would not be surprised at all if I drop out of the top 10 on this stage, because one of those 8 riders who's going to pick up 3 minutes is going to move into the top 10. Because I could see them being less than 7 minutes down overall.
The riders are entering the last 10 kilometers of the stage.
240 is the gap.
This time it could go all the way.
We brought back Wellens. He's in the peloton, I believe. And now there's 35 in the peloton, so a couple riders caught us from behind as we lifted the pace. Here comes an attack. That is not Ciccone. There you go. It's Galopan and Tish Benut. Caruso is chasing.
There are just 5 kilometers left.
Tish Benut going again. Mark Hershey now going with him. Slezak, Van Barl, and Tolhoek. Thomas. That's the whole group pretty much now. So we're seeing a fight here with 5K to go. Let's use our gel. Climb's a little longer than I thought. We're already coming up on it. Start a gentle move to the front. 3K. Follow Thomas through here.
And off he goes. He's giving it one last go.
Jay Hindley trying to attack to go for the stage win. He's got 16 seconds, now 6 seconds as they chase him down. And I'm going for my own little acceleration to see if I can get above these guys. Hindley takes the stage over Mohoric and Poulenc, the third one on the podium. And that very strong group takes the top 8 positions. Kwiatkowski goes best of the rest. I get 13th on the stage. And again, fairly small group here, 24 riders making it to the top. We'll see if I drop out of the top 10 due to the break. They didn't end up with a huge lead at the end, but they certainly pulled back some time. And with 8 quality riders up there, especially 5 of the stronger riders, I could see somebody gaining enough time to move into the top 10. Hopefully that's not the case. Find out here in just a moment.
And here are the key moments of the race.
That's the key moment of the race. Yes, right there. As we gently ride up the slope. Minute 55 is the gap. At least to the first 2 riders. And then that takes us down to 32nd place. So 23 riders. And I do keep a top 10 spot. There is Mohoric. Took second on the stage. Just about enough to climb into the top 10. He climbs up to 12th. Vetapol there at 13th. There's Jay Hindley up to 16th. This guy's gained a lot of time. Sprints, I'm in 4th. Nowhere on the mountains. I've got the under 25s by 29 seconds over Evenepoel. And wow, we are nearly last as a team. Just about. Gain 2 points. Yes, that's how that works. That's how that works. Well, Selly starting to fall back. 132 riders in the peloton, 7 riders in the break. Stage number 7. And this all comes down to what is technically the final climb. This is all one climb, more or less, but it's massive. This is 30 kilometers. Straight uphill the whole way, but it's 30 kilometers up this mountain. We're about to get started. This time, very, very carefully and well before We got to the base of the climb, brought the entire team forward, got them all in position, got riders protecting other riders. Now a lot of them are not going to last long. You can see it's raining. It's a nasty race. Has an effect on the race day condition, and all of my riders, of course, if you remember, all fatigued. Every last rider on the team other than myself who's on a fitness peak. So all of them carry negative race day conditions to begin with, and then with the weather being what it is, that adds to it, and so we've got lots and lots and lots of fatigue here within the team. So Urasari's going to be the next one to fade. No, Morea already faded. He was protecting Rodriguez. Let's see. Rodriguez, go ahead and protect Aaron Burrow. There he is. And Silva's spending the last of his energy to protect me, and that leaves Irasari going backwards. Set him to auto. He's about to get dropped here. This looks like this could be a split in a moment. It is 103 riders now. This is just up the first part of the climb. So looking closely, you can see this is no joke of a climb. Then it eases off for a while, but it never gets easy. It's just not as bad. But then the final part of the climb, that's what really makes this the Alls category, you know, besides that whole 30-kilometer climb thing. And then actually, that's still not the end. You've got just over a kilometer, less than 2, more than 1 kilometer to the finish. That's going to be a challenge. Now, the lead's down to 1:45. Breakaway has split in half. And we're just about hitting the top here with 83 riders still. And I'm down to Aaron Burrow, who at this point I'm okay with him not working right now, because I'd like to see him get a little recovery over the top, but I don't think that's going to happen. Like I said, it eases off some, but it never actually gets easy. So I was hoping to have at least one teammate through this flat section, and that appears to not be the case, because Aaron Burrow is really close to falling out the back here. Yep, there you go. 71 riders left in the peloton. The latest casualty, my final teammate. I had them all near the front. I protected all the better riders. None of it mattered. None of it mattered. Oh, Aaron Burrow, regain contact. Good job, buddy. It's not going to last, though. But good job. Oh, you got water, though. No water for me. They're starting to pick up. Not quite empty yet, but with 16K to go and all of it uphill, it's going to be potentially a difficult situation in the final few kilometers. But I'm definitely not going backwards to go get water now. This is where you could really use a soigneur on the side of the road to hand me a water bottle. Or just reach over to Geraint Thomas and take one out of his cage, right? Yeah, I'm sure he'd appreciate that. Alright, we're down to 3 riders off the front. Their lead is 25 seconds. No breakaway victory today, or at least so it seems. Final 12K. This is the easier section, so let's speed it up a little bit through here. Starting to see the acceleration. It looks like Jumbo Visma. No, they back off for now. Now it's Astana leading the way. Want to say that was Frele? Yes, it is. Omar Frele leading the way. Speed it up, speed up, speed up. 60 riders chasing 3. Gaps down to 20 seconds. Bouncing around a little bit. Separation in that group now. Nope, back together. Pulled away a little bit more there, so they've been kind of attacking each other a little bit here, trying to stay away, but it's a very small gap. Ooh, one new rider getting off the front. But he's not going anywhere. We're starting to get a little bit of a rain-snow mixed here. Full song. Full Song attacking. He's in 11th. You know what? I'm not interested in attacking. I just don't want to get dropped here. Let's use that gel now. 3.5k to go. Breakaway's caught. Demarquis. No, he's not the one off the front. It's an AG2R rider. Galopan. Tony Galopan. I have no reason to be attacking this, so let's sit up. Hershey trying to attack here. 1.9k. I'm looking pretty strong now. I think it's time to start actually making an effort of this. Remember, it's going to level off here. This is the top of the climb. This is the top of the climb. We're going to be able to sprint from here.
There we go. The sprint is on. The riders are setting themselves up.
Fulsung, Galopan, Kwiatkowski getting away. Fighting for 4th here to try to beat Thomas. I don't know if I'll get it. No, he just gets me on the line. 5th place again, though. That's still a really good result. And this is a pretty small group in tow. So Fulsung, Galopan, Kwiatkowski, Thomas, myself, Nibali, Valverde, Quintana, Soler, Amador are your top 10. And everybody else losing time. I mean, we're already at 1.5 minutes here. Richie Port 20th. I'm up to those guys' level already. Dang. Positive race day condition really helps. Really does. Strong climber, but my low resistance always hold me back. I know you've heard me say that before. But today, at a 75, see what happens when it's tolerable? I actually get the feeling that I might have been able to attack. When Fulsung went, I probably could have gone with him and been fighting for top 3 position instead of 5th, but just wasn't confident enough. And actually, at that point, I forgot that it levels off for the final K, more or less. That'll definitely keep me in the under 25s jersey and could move me up another place or two. Potentially. Remember, I was a minute behind everybody else. Oh, wow. They put us all at the same time. Really? 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 So I stay in 10th. Minute clear of Evenepoel, and the team actually drops a spot to 19th out of the 20 in the race. I love that. I'm just barely on the edge of the top 10 list favorites, and so when I finish 5th on the stage, my team cries that I'm not winning against all those top World Tour riders. I know. Should just go out there and win every race. That would be real fun. That wouldn't get boring fast at all. No way. Okay, we got 2 stages left. We move on to the final stage. Stage 8 was a sprint stage. Now stage 9. This is the individual time trial to determine the winner here of the Tour de Suisse. 33 kilometers in all. Right now, top time is Victor Campenaerts, just under 40 minutes. And I've saved myself a little bit of energy here for the second half that we're going to be able to push a little bit harder through this. There's a fair amount of undulation through this area that's allowed me to preserve a little energy. Then as we go forward, there's that one more downhill. This is the last big uphill. I think we can definitely start pushing harder towards the end and make up some time. Only a +1 today, but no matter, our time trial rating is a 78. So we should definitely be good in that department as we come up on the 5K to go banner. And at a 78, I think I'll just about be where I need to be. Here's that little downhill section. There we go. Attack it. Attack it all the way to the line. Attack all the way to the line. Come on, go, 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 go. 8th place, 42 seconds. I like that. I like that. That'll be a top 20, which was my objective. Guaranteed. 42 seconds is the time loss. See how everybody is behind us. Full song. Was the guy behind me? We'll be ahead of him now. Valverde. I think we're moving into the top 8. Amador. Amador puts up a good time. We're not going to pass him. And whoever that was, they're staying up the order. But there's Nibali. He loses a little bit. 40 seconds. That won't be enough to get ahead of him. As to whoever that last one was as well. We're down to Soler. And the gaps are probably too big at this point. Yeah, Kwiatkowski's not losing any time. But he was only 8th. Geraint Thomas won't lose any time. 7th. So Victor Campenaerts takes the stage. Remco Evenepoel behind me took 3rd. 13 seconds down was the rounded off score. He's the only threat to possibly move ahead of me from behind me in the standings, which actually would cost me the under 25's jersey if he did it. 30-second gap between he and I. I move up to 7th. Evenepoel moves up to 8th. So there you go. I did gain one more in that. Somebody's slow. So Geraint Thomas takes the win. Kwiatkowski 2nd. Galopin 3rd. Amador, Soler, Nibali, and myself. All the way up to 7th place. That is fantastic. For our first chance at a legitimate World Tour race. Stage race style. Plenty of climbs. Time trials. Now, here's the thing, too. We'll take a look here in just a second. There were... Campenaerts takes that one. There we go. The under 25s, we get that one. If you remember back, stage number 1 was a team time trial. And we went 99 flat out and pushed as hard as we could. But our team was just garbage for this race. All those negative race day conditions for all my teammates. So, did it without support. I led us across the line, and I had just the tiniest amount of energy left when I got there. Gave it our all. But we lost 3 minutes. Took 12th on the stage here. 7th overall. We lost 3 minutes. Like, flat. 2:58 or something like that. So, right about 3 minutes anyway. Subtract 3 minutes from what we got. We lost a minute and a half. That would have been 3rd place if I would have had a little better team support. And then, of course, you got to figure if we would have had a little better team support, there was a certain stage where we lost about a minute and a half. That if we had team support, that might not have happened. Or at least I lost about a minute there. So, with better team support, we're getting up there now. We are getting up there. But if you look at this, look at these standings. Yeah, Geraint Thomas won it. Kwiatkowski 2nd. Galopin. Great riders. Okay. But we finished just behind Vincenzo Nibali. He's won a Grand Tour. Or 2. Evenepoel's going to win Grand Tours. Young Phenom. Valverde finished in 10th. Full sum. Nairo Quintana in 13th. Looking down a little bit further. Richie Porte took 24th. You've got some World Tour, Grand Tour favorites here that we're not just getting in amongst now, but beating some of them. First distinctive jersey won, 50 points. Very good on the stage. 7th in the classification. First in the Young Riders. Worth a very positive result and nearly leveling us up. National time trial for the US will be coming up prior to the end of the month, but we will be leveling up quite soon. So it's coming. But that's going to do it for this episode on Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now.